Hello! Today I will be picking my October TBR. Every month I use a TBR game to pick the books I want to read that month. I explained all the rules and everything you need to know in last month's video. So if you're interested, please check that out. I'll try and link it up in the cards. If I manage to do that, it will definitely be in the description box. A little disclaimer before we start. I always film the game or the roles I do itself first, and then I film the rest. And I realized that I used 2 dice instead of 1, and I was wondering why I was going through the board so fast. It's because I did 2 dice. So next time it will just be the regular 1 dice, but now I'm just gonna go with this one. So in October I don't have any particular reading plans. We're reading Jamaica Inn for our classics book club, but I've read that earlier this year, so I'm not going to read it again right now. For the rest, we'll just see what the game brings us. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say before, so let's get into the rolls. Okay, let's do the rolls. I ended at the well the last time, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to check, so that's where we're going to start today. Roll number 1 is 11. Which are the thorn bushes. And that means for the next prompt I'm going to add 2 books instead of 1. And the prompt is the Feminist reading challenge. Rule number 1 was the thorn bushes, which is one of the special squares, and this one means I will pick 2 books for 1 prompt, and the prompt was the Feminist reading challenge, and that is a year-long reading challenge hosted by, I believe her name is Liv's Literary Nook on Instagram. It's a year-long challenge with, I believe, 25 prompts, and it really helps to diversify your reading, which I always aim to do. I have 4 prompts left to read. I had a book for 1 of them on my shelves, which was a book by a Caribbean author, and that was The Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey, and she is from Trinidad, and I honestly don't know that much about this book. I've heard it's about the mermaid, but not the Disney kind, and I know that a lot of people whose taste in book I trust have also loved this book, so looking forward to reading this one. And then for the other 3 prompts, I don't have any books on my shelf, so I'll have a browse at the library to see what they have, but I have the prompts here, so I'll tell you what they are. So if you have any recommendations, then I'd love to know. So the first one is a book by Bell Hooks, so the author Bell Hooks. The second one is a book on climate change, I still need to do. And then the third is a mythology retelling set outside of ancient Greece. So if you have any recommendation on those prompts, that would be great. The challenge is as well to diversify your reading, so use women authors for your prompts, or authors from other minority groups. So basically no cishet, able-bodied white men. Rule number 2. 6. Which is a 1-word title. For 1-word title I picked Disoriental by Négar Djavadi, and this is translated from the French, I think. It's translated from the French by Tina Cover. The author is from Iran, and she fled to France when she was a young child. And this is another book I know very little about, but I've heard excellent things about it. I believe the protagonist of the book is also an Iranian woman who fled to France when she was a child, so much like the author. And I also believe the Iranian Revolution plays a big role in it. But yeah, other than that, I don't know exactly what it's about. But it's a book I've seen popping up every Women in Translation month for the past couple of years, and everyone who reads it seems to really love it. So looking forward to that one. Rule number 3. Which is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which starts with the last letter of the previous read. And the last letter previous read is a prompt where I'll see what the last letter of my book is, and then that will be the first letter of the title of the next book. And I think I will see what the last letter of my current audiobook is, and then pick the next audiobook of that one. So I don't know what that's going to be yet, but we'll find out. Rule number 4. 8 again. We're getting to the end. A mood read. And for mood read I picked this one. Since October is a spooky month, I had to have a spooky book, and what is more spooky than graveyards? This is A Tomb with a View by Peter Ross, The Stories and Glories of Graveyards. I believe it's very much just what it says on the tin. It's different stories of graveyards around the UK. Last year Charlotte of Bookish Mama Blooms read this book and really raved about it. So I picked it up on her recommendation. I think it's going to be perfect for October. Rule number 5. 7. Buzzwords Location. This is the book I picked for Buzzwords Location. So a book with any of the a book with any word on the cover that indicates a location, and I picked The Road Home by Tremain. Tremain is an author that I think might become a favorite, but I've only read one book by her, so I feel like it's too early to tell yet. And what I know about this book is that it is about an Eastern European man who moves to the UK, and I guess it will be about all the ups and downs and everything that comes with that. It is the winner of the Orange Broadband Prize for Fiction 2008, which is better known as the Women's Prize for Fiction these years. So another one I'm really looking forward to. Rule number 6. A Dutch or Flemish author. For a Dutch or Flemish author, I will be reading Oktober by Manon Uphoff. And this is the second book in the monthly series that this publisher is bringing out this year. They let a different author write a short novella about each month. And September was the first one, so this will be the second one. I believe the authors have a lot of freedom of what they'll do with the subject, so it'll be a complete surprise what this book will be about. I haven't read anything by this author before, so I'm looking forward to see if I like her style. Rule number 7. Science fiction or fantasy. For science fiction or fantasy, I will be reading The Seep by Chana Porter, which is a science fiction book. And that is a genre I rarely read. This was recommended to me by my namesake, Marcella, on Instagram, and her handle is Books and Macchiatos. I'll read you a short bit of the blurb to tell you what it's about. Trina Goldberg Onega is a 50-year-old trans woman whose life is irreversibly altered in the wake of a gentle but nonetheless world-changing invasion by an alien entity called the Seep. Through the Seep, everything is connected. Capitalism falls, hierarchies and barriers are broken down. If something can be imagined, it is possible. So I think it'll be really fascinating to explore what the world will be like if everyone could be how they wanted to be, and anything was possible. I have no idea what to expect. Science fiction is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I trust Marcella's recommendation, so I'm looking forward to this one. Roll number 8 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reread a non-fiction book. This is what happens in the real game all the time. You like nearly in the end, but frustratingly never get to it. And for a non-fiction reread, I have 3 books that I've been wanting to reread all year. They are Into the Wild by John Krakauer, The Soul of an Octopus by Montgomery, and Mastering the Art of Soviet Cooking by Anya von Bremzen. And this is the book I'm leaning towards the most right now. I've read this about 3 or 4 years ago, and what I remember is that it is about a mother and a daughter. They moved from Soviet Russia to America, and they are going through an old cookbook from their time in Russia, and cooking different recipes, and in the meantime talking about what it was like growing up in Soviet Russia and how it was like when they moved to America. Yeah, I just remember I really enjoyed it, and I'm in the mood for some food writing, which I think will be perfect for the autumn season. Roll number 9, which is 7. An animal on the cover. And for a book with an animal on the cover, I picked Too Much Lip by Melissa Lucashenko. There's a bird right here. She's an Australian author. Melissa Lucashenko is a gory author of Punjalung and European heritage. And this book was the winner of the 2019 Miles Franklin Award, and also shortlisted for the Stella Prize, so 2 of the biggest Australian book prizes. And this book is about a young woman, and she's a bit of a rebel, tough, like a wisecrack sort of lady. When she hears her father is dying, she goes back to her hometown after she's been away for a long time to visit him. I'm guessing things will happen. And what I gather is that one of the big themes of this book is intergenerational trauma in the Indigenous community in Australia, which is definitely something I'm really interested in reading about. So that's that one. And the last roll, number 10. And that is A Body of Water on the cover. And then the last book was a book with a body of water on the cover. This is Crow Lake by Mary Lawson, and you can see it, well, maybe not very clear, but there's something that looks like a lake on the cover. I picked this up at a charity bookshop, having never heard of it. It had words on the cover like family drama, slow burning, nature writing. It's set in the wild terrain of northern Ontario. So it just ticked a lot of my boxes. I'm hoping it'll be as good as it sounds. So here's all the books I'll be trying to read in October. I'm not sure I'm gonna get to all of them, and since it is quite a stack and there are still 2 more that need to be added to this one. I realized I didn't land on any of the book buying prompts, but that's okay since October is my birthday month and it's free for all in terms of book buying anyway. So let me know if you have any recommendations for me for the Feminist reading challenge. So there was a book by Bell Hooks, a book on climate change, or a mythology retelling set outside of ancient Greece. And if you have anything to say on any of the other books I mentioned today, then just leave a comment down below. I hope you're all doing well, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.